This particular royal story shocked a lot of people. Well, yes, it shocked me. Think about this, though, in royal history. Say, cast your mind back to somebody like Henry VIII, right? If you think when he was presented with certain things, I don't know, say like a side of beef or a ham or something. If he didn't like the taste, it was flung off the table and literally could smack into a courtier as he said it's not salty enough or it's not cooked enough. That's exactly how much power the monarch had at that particular time. You understand how this works. Now, what I find fascinating about this particular story is His Majesty the King, King Charles III, literally issued his recent round of royal warrants. And there was one in particular that had been part of the royal warrants for over 150 years. A company, of course, that had so much success over here in the United Kingdom and the rest of the world. And everybody of a certain age will remember all of those wonderful ads that they used to have with celebrities, particularly in the 70s and 80s. The sort of thing, Frankie Howerd, Cilla Black, they all promoted it, didn't they? And a bar of dairy milk or a Cadbury selection box was the icing on the cake, wasn't it, for Christmas? But apparently it's turned a bit sour for the king. Let me explain. Hi, how are you? You all right? Thank you so much as ever for joining me. I hope you've got your selection box open. Yes, you know what I mean. The problem that you have when you get a royal warrant, as I pointed out the other day, it's a big influence, on a more serious note, whether that's Twinings Tea or Fortnum and Masons, used to be Harrods, if you remember, and then the disgraced owner, Mohammed Al Fayed, personally climbed up and started to unscrew the royal warrants off the front of the store. Nothing was ever as good when they had those massive warrants outside the store. And this is the thing, as I mentioned. Now, according to this latest news, apparently Cadbury's have lost it after 150 years. But why? Well, here's the dilemma. There's no specific reason, apparently. The king doesn't dislike the taste or whatever, but he wanted to give other people the opportunity. And one might say, after 150 years of a royal warrant, there are now more different chocolate makers, etc., on the market. Some more luxurious, some not. And that's exactly the reason behind that particular thinking. However, according to a well-placed source, Queen Camilla, yes, apparently she's a bit miffed, she quite liked the fruit and nut, a bit partial to a couple of cubes of dairy milk while watching Strictly Come Dancing with a glass of something chilled. You understand what it's like, ladies. So I think this came as something as a shock to her. On a more serious note, though, I've been told that Cadbury's behind the scenes were literally left dumbfounded. They didn't see this coming at all, and now all new packs will have that royal warrant naturally removed. What's interesting is, though, that the packs with the royal warrant on now very quickly will become something of a collector's item or edition and no doubt be sold online. You know how this works. So can they win it back? Well, apparently there is a window of opportunity, and we're not quite sure exactly what they're going to do, whether that brings back a particular favourite like Bar 6 or something like that perhaps His Majesty the King enjoyed when he was a little younger. Either way, literally, everything's, well, shall we say, in a bit of a chocolate mix. It's a developing story. When I know more, you'll know more. Neil Sean in the very heart of Yorkshire.